practicing together? Oh, I love the Carlins. You guys are the best. Oh, you're so cute. Relationship goals. Top of the mat, feet together, legs together. Stop being cute. Love you both. Big toes touch, gentle gap between the heel, palms face forward. Close the eyes. Deepen the breath. In through the nose. Out through the nose. Sweep the hands up above the head, palms press. And then let the hands slide through heart center. As you draw the thumbs down through the center of the chest, lift through the back of the neck. I want you to set a strong intention today. Something you wish to achieve with your thoughts, with your actions, with the inner monologue. Inhale, lift the heart to it. Exhale, bow the head to it, honoring it. Next inhale, chin lifts, eyes open. Sweep the hands up towards the sky, all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, release, all the way down. Good, now do the cha-cha. Saturday morning wake up, bend one knee, bend another. Warming up the body. Getting deep into those hips, flushing blood into the body. In through the nose, out through the nose. Find stillness. Inhale, look forward, flat back. Lengthening through the spine. Exhale, forward fold, release. Let the head go, not carrying it with you. Instead, let gravity traction you naturally. Inhale again, look forward, flat back. Exhale, fold. Last time, look forward, flat back, lengthen. Drop the hands, step back to plank pose. Hold plank here. Remember, draw the belly in, knit those ribs tightly in towards one another across the front body. Separate shoulder blades so as not to Grand Canyon between them. Make sure the back of the neck is long so you're looking down the tip of the nose onto the earth in front of you. Push back, downward facing dog. You're closing off the gap between belly and thigh with integrity. Finding that inverted V, and from here, begin to bend one knee, bend another, sway the hips from side to side. Lifting the heels high and then dropping them towards the earth without collapsing into the shoulders. Instead, keep those shoulders nice and long, ears by the biceps. Big inhale, roll back into plank pose slowly, like a wave up the spine. Now lower the knees, lower the chest. Lower the chin, hold here, keep those toes tucked, come back into plank pose, lift through the legs, push through the hands, come all the way up, yes, nice and strong, push back, downward facing, and from here, drop the knees to child's pose, let the hips drop back. Open up the knees as much as you need to so that your hips drop towards your heels. Rock from side to side, back and forth, and now pressing into the palms, slide the nose and the chest along the mat, moving into Cobra Pose, legs extend behind you. Barely any weight in the hands. I want those fingertips light and liberated away from the earth. Squeeze the elbows tight. Push back, downward facing. Press back onto the knees and then back into your down. Opening up those feet so they're hips width distance. Look at your heels. Make sure the feet are on straight. Good. Soften the knees, hop, step, or float to the front of the mat. Folding here. Inhale, press through the feet. Sweep the hands up towards the sky. Palms touch, slide the thumbs through heart center. Come back into your center. Right back into that intention, right back into the breath. Again, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower the knees, lower the chest. Keep those toes tucked. Back into plank pose, lift the legs, press through the hands, come all the way up. Back to down dog. Again, rolling into plank pose, drawing up from the low back to the middle back to the high back. And now, child's pose, drop the knees. As soon as you're there, slide the nose and the chest along the mat, extend the legs out behind you, heart forward and through, pressing into the tops of the feet, push back, downward facing dog. Soften the knees, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, hop, step, or float to the front of the mat. Beautiful. Press through the feet, sweep the hands up towards the sky. Palms press, thumbs slide through heart center, come right back to center. Last time, inhale, warming up the body. Fill the lungs. Exhale, forward fold all the way down. Inhale, look forward, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. Lower the knees, lower the chest, lower the chin, hold here. Keep those toes tucked, explode back into plank. Push up, press through the hands. Yes, nice, Rigo. Push back, downward facing. Find that child's pose. Find the bowing sequence, slide the nose and the chest along the mat, extend the legs. Tops of feet to the earth, make sure they're pressing down into the earth as you hover the hands off the earth. Keep the back of the neck long, so I want the occipital, right where the skull ties into the spine to reach towards the front of your room. And now shoot the hands forward without letting those feet lift off of the mat. Push down into your shins. Find my feet, push down. Lift those arms up more. Press down into the feet a little bit more. Warming up the spine. Can you pinch the shoulder blades gently together and then pull them down the back body? Drop the hands, push back, downward facing. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, hop, step, or float to the front of the mat. Fold here. Find chair pose, sink the seat, sweep the fingertips, scoop the heart, pull the belly up and in. So remember, in this pose, in the Vinyasa variation, we want to create strength by uniting the body. Pull the inner edges of the feet to touch. Squeeze the inner thighs tightly. Send the hips back. Notice if you feel it more in your knees, you have to close the hip off, send the booty back, lift the chest up, draw the belly in. We want the outer glute to do the work of the pose. Weight into the heels. You should be able to wiggle and lift those toes off the mat. Now just hold this forever because we like strong glutes, right? Yes, just kidding. Forward fold, release. Inhale, look forward, flat back. And of course, if you have it, hop, step, float, take your vinyasa. Land soft. Slide through, upward facing, your first upward facing dog of the practice. Exhale, up and back. Tara, that upward facing looks fabulous. Reach the right heel up towards the sky. Rotate those right toes out towards the right side of the room, and now let that right foot hang dangle over the left side of the body, moving into three-legged dog. We have a tendency to roll that right shoulder up, knit those ribs tightly in towards one another, and pull that right shoulder down. So this is the patella. The patella is the kneecap. You're pulling that kneecap up towards the ceiling so that you can traction the whole right side of the body. Holding here. Find a little more length. And now bring knee to nose. Roll forward. Make connection. Oops, sorry. Tucking into the chin. Hollow out that belly. Now press the shoulder blades forward. We go look at that knee. Yes. Make connection. Send it back out. Stack hip on top of hip, bend into the knee, pull the kneecap up. And now bring the right foot to the inside of the right hand. Find low lunge, left hand to the earth, right hand to the top of the thigh. First rotation, roll the right shoulder up towards the sky. So we want the hips to be square in order to assure that push down into all 5 toes on that back foot. And then we want to create the pivot point in which the ribs spin around the spine. So roll the right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Connect your chin to your shoulder without dropping the head back too much so. Lower the right hand down to the earth. Now drop the back knee and sit your weight back into half split. Stacking left hip over left knee. Extend the right leg. Pull those right toes back towards the nose. We want to open up and warm up into the hamstrings. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let the body fold over that right leg. Again, inhale, tying to the breath, placing the right foot onto the earth, come back into low knee lunge. Sending the shin forward, letting the hip drop down towards the earth. Keep the chest, broad shoulders back. Hands are still framing out that foot. Deep breath. Exhale, push back to half split again. So we're going to move between these 2 poses for 3 times. Take a deep breath in, push back into that front knee, press the shin forward, let the hips drop down towards the earth, push into the shin. Inhale. Exhale, push back to half split. Pull those toes towards the nose, finding that active dorsiflexion. Avoid rounding by pulling the shoulder blades down the back body. 2 more times. Inhale, roll forward. Let the hips sink on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale, press back. Every time getting a little bit deeper. Last time, inhale, come forward. Let the hips sink on the exhale. Planting every single digit on that right toe down to the earth. Last time, exhale, sit back. Right, left shin on the earth. Pull the right toes towards the nose. Holding here. We're going to move into Vashisthasana, left hand to the earth, variation. Swivel that left foot towards the left side of your room and send the right leg back behind you. Good. The more you push down into that shin behind you, the more that hip is going to open up. Gaze towards those right fingertips. Now pull the right knee back into the chest. Plant the right foot back at the top of the mat. We're coming into low lunge. Tuck the back toes, lift the back leg. Now moving into charging lunge. Reach the hands forward. So it's just the arms that lift off the mat. The belly's still parallel to the earth. I want that back leg to be an extension of the upper body. Biceps in line with the ears. The pinkies gently roll in, the thumbs gently roll out, as though you are offering up your pose. Inhale, come into high lunge, all the way up. Belly draws in. Palms press at the top if you're able, without those shoulders rising up by the ears. Now finding a back bend, lift up and out of the belly. Begin to slide those fingertips in a line across the ceiling. Holding here. One more breath. Come back up through center, frame out that right foot. Step back to plank. Take a vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Slide through. Push back, downward facing. Beautiful. Left heel reaches up towards the sky. Stack hip on top of hip. Bend into the knee. Pull that kneecap up towards the ceiling. So we want that external rotation. Again, remember, your kneecap is aiming to touch the sky above you so that you can lengthen and traction the whole left side of the body. Does that feel nice? It's like my favorite. Make sure to knit the ribs together. Drop that left shoulder down. Bring knee to nose. Hollow out the belly. Roll forward. Make connection. Using that entire exhale to compress through the front body, engage through the core, send it back out. Stack hip on top of hip. Bend into the knee. Bring the left foot to the inside of the left hand. Now finding low lunge. Fingertips framing out the left foot. Right hand softly on the earth. And now sweep the left hand up towards the sky. Opening up the chest. So again, those right fingertips, light on the earth. I want you on the fingertips because I want the legs to do the work. Lower the left hand down to the earth. And then drop the back knee down to the earth. Seal the back shin down to the earth. And then extend through that left leg. Pull the left toes back towards the nose. Half split. So this is before we're going to rotate back and forth between the two poses and just to open up and warm up. Many of you have heard me talk about how tightness is weakness. So not only do we want to open up the hamstring, but we want to strengthen it. So push down into that heel and drag it back into the hip so that hamstring lights up. Not only stretching, but strengthening. Big inhale, planting the left foot onto the earth. Send the shin forward, coming into Kopyasana. Heart forward, shoulders back, back of the neck is long. Big inhale. Exhale, push back to half split. Can you tie the movements with the breath? The breath work will guide and open the pose. Inhale again, planting that left foot onto the earth, sinking the shin forward, heart forward and through. Back of the neck is long. Press into that back shin. Big breath. Exhale, press back, half split. Every time getting a little bit deeper. Don't forget to push pressure into that left heel. Inhale again, come forward. Heart forward, shoulders back. Exhale, push back, last time, half split. Pull the toes towards the nose. Holding here. Now hands are on the earth, right hand to the earth. Swivel the right foot towards the right side of your room, half split variation, half side plank variation. We want to open up through that right front thigh. So the more you push down into that right shin, the more accurate the pose. Keep that left foot flexed, sealing the inner edge of that back foot to the earth. Good, yeah, excellent. One more breath. Now pull the left knee tightly into the chest, come back into low lunge. Planting the foot at the top of the mat. Tuck the back toes, lift the back leg. Fingertips light on the mat. Now reach the hands forward, moving into charging lunge. You're one line from tip of the finger all the way down through the ribs, all the way to the back heel. Like an arrow being shot, inhale, high lunge. Palms press at the top. Lift up. Gaze up. Sink into that front knee. Pull the belly in. Frame out that left foot. Step back to plank. Take your vinyasa. Lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Slide through, upward facing. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing. Softening the knees, hop, step, or float to the front of the mat. Folding here. Come into chair pose, sink the seat, sweep the fingertips. We're right back in it, second set. This time, can you aim to get those hamstrings parallel with the earth? Sink back a little bit more, knit those ribs in a little bit more. Make sure the shoulders aren't suffocating the ears. You want those ears to have their own space. Weight into the heels, toes are light and soft. Knit those ribs tightly. Inhale, press through the legs, come all the way up, palms press. Hands slide through heart center. So we're gonna open up into a little hip stretch because this will get us deeper into what we're gonna play with today. Open up the feet about a little bit wider than mat's width distance. So you guys might want to stagger. Yeah, there we go. So you're gonna rotate your right toes towards the right side of the room. Keep your left foot facing towards the front of the room. Bring your right hand high into your hip point. So I want the heel of your hand into your hip point. So right where the femur ties into the pelvis. Press down lightly, no pain, no strain. If there's any hyperextension through that right knee, put a micro bend into the right knee so as not to aggravate the ACL. Take the left arm up above the head and then pressing the bicep up towards the head. Begin to push the hips towards the left. So it's a variation on Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle. We're taking a little bit of a shorter stance and then focus on rolling that left hip up towards the ceiling. Good. This should get into the hamstring as it ties into the right side of the glute, as well as tractioning through the entire side of the spine, the right side of the spine. Good, one more breath. Inhale, come back up through center. Rotate the right toes, drop the hands down. Excuse me, keep the hands up. Now drop the left hand into the left hip point. So again, the heel of the hand is right into that hip point, fingers face out. Yeah, there we go. Reach the right hand up towards the sky, palm facing towards the left side of the room. And now gently begin to press that hip away as you reach the right hand up and over. Rotating that right hip up towards the ceiling, that popping the booty. Send the booty down. Yeah, energize the booty down. Good. Take a deep breath in. And all of this space that you're creating through the long side of the body, breathe into it. Through the nose, out through the nose. Inhale, come back up through center, rotate the toes. And now sink right into Melasma, dropping the hips down and forward, elbows inside of the knees. Thumbs slide through heart center. Excellent. Remembering if the heels lift off the mat, you have to open up the stance. It just means that the ankles are tight, and that's fine. As you work into the pose, you'll get deeper into the pose. The hands can always remain on the earth too, and that's a great variation. You should be doing Melasma every day. Open up the hips, chest broad, holding here. Now drop the hands onto the earth, play with your crow pose. Any variation, lift the hips up, walk the toes in. For those of you who have the headstand, you're more than welcome to play with it. Hollowing out the belly, pulling the elbows in tightly. Excellent, Jules. Beautiful. And now if you have the hop, the step, the float, take it. Keep those bent elbows as you land softly. Darlene, excellent. Take your vinyasa. Andrew, that looks super strong. Push back, downward facing. Brilliant. Let's move a little bit quicker. Right heel reaches up towards the sky. Stack hip on top of hip, bend into the knee. Pull that kneecap up. Let the right foot hang over the left side of the body. Now bring knee to nose, hollow out the belly, roll forward, make connection. Send it back out. Stack hip on top of hip, bend into the knee. Pull the kneecap up towards the sky. Bring the right foot to the inside of the right hand, finding low lunge. Left hand to the earth. Now right hand reaches up towards the heavens. Again, I want you on the left fingertips. Yeah, so the legs do the work. Good. If you dunk down into that left hand, the legs will go slack, and we're not aiming for that. Lower the right hand down to the earth, derotate the spine, drop the back knee, find your half split. This time, drop the left hip towards the left heel. Sitting the hips down onto the heel, all the while flexing those toes. So this variation gets into the low back. It helps to unfurl the muscles that line the low back, all the while deepening into the hamstring stretch. Not to be confused with half split, but is transitionary into half split. Take another deep breath. Holding here. Inhale, press forward, come back into Kapiyasana, sweeping the hands forward and up all the way up. The inhales find length, and the exhales, the hips gently soften down towards the earth. One more breath. Hands frame out that right foot, and now choose any variation, whether it be a full split, a half split, or the low back stretch variation that we just took. Taking any variation that we just took. Good. So a little, at least this is how I work on building into my half split, full split, excuse me. You want to straighten the back leg behind you first. So you're gonna bend into that front knee, so that front knee, the ACL on the front knee is safe. Well, really all of the connectors. So then you're gonna slide the leg back. Ooh, I ran out of room. Slide the leg back, and then begin to straighten that front leg, all the while using the hands for support. So eventually one day, the hips will sink down onto the earth. Now, I might never get into it, but some of you will. Good. Holding here, one more breath. Let's take a quick peek. If you're in full split or a full split variation, I want you to learn this now, how to come out without stressing that front knee. I want you to tuck the back toes, lift that back leg, and then use that knee to work your way forward instead of dragging that front foot back. Jen, that's perfect, just like that. Exactly. Good, chills. So when we're in the hot room, finally, don't drag that foot back anymore. It just creates undue stress. Sink back into that front knee. Come back into Kapiyasana. Left hand is on the earth. Swivel the left foot, moving back into side plank variations. Reaching the right hand up towards the sky. Now begin to pull the right knee into the chest. Drop the right hand inside of that right knee. Now begin to rotate and pull that kneecap up towards the sky as the chest rotates up towards the heavens. Sana, you know where to take this. If you have it, the full variation, maybe working the hand along the inner edge of the heel. Good, Andrew, going for it. And then maybe kicking out. Darlene, excellent. Good, Jen, beautiful. Remember to push into the shin behind you. You want to simultaneously open up the inner hip on that right side while opening up the front of that left thigh. One more breath. Lower that leg back down onto the earth, extended to the back edge of your mat. Lift up a little bit more. Now let's take the back bend. Lift the right leg again. Bend into the knee. Catch an outside grip on the ankle. And now begin to kick the heel away from the seat. I want an outside grip on the foot so that that heel stays in line with the glute. Make sure your left elbow pit is rolling towards the front of the room. One more breath. Pull the right knee into the chest. Come back into low lunge. Sweep the hands forward into charging lunge. Cindy, that was excellent transition. Reaching the back of the neck forward, come into high lunge. Palms press at the top, gaze up, look up, find the back bend, draw the belly up and in. Come back through center, find warrior two. Arms open up to T. Look at that front foot. Drop the bottom of the seat down towards the earth. Zip up the front of the belly. Shoulders release away from the ears. Holding here. Point the thumbs up towards the ceiling. Palms facing towards the side wall. Draw the belly in. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, peaceful. Left hand down the left leg. Reach the right hand up. Finding space. And a little more space. Come back to T. Hands join at heart center. Roll onto the ball of the back foot. Move back into high lunge twist. Now deepening into what we worked on. Dropping that left elbow outside of the right knee. Good, so this requires a lot of pivoting on that back foot. Jules, other elbow, other knee. So drop your, yeah, there, no, the knee was right. I'm sorry, the knee was right. The left elbow has to be outside of the right knee. Left elbow. Yes, got it. Find a little more rotation. Now keep that elbow right where it is. Little baby hop into twisted chair pose. Nice, playing with that balance. 1 or 2 little baby hops and sink that seat down. Sink that seat down. And for those of you who have side crow who would like to play with it, go ahead. The inner edges of the feet are touching. You're sending those hips back. Excellent. One more breath. Nice, you'll come back up through center. Find that chair pose, sink the seat, sweep the fingertips, scoop the heart, pour the weight back. Find a fold, release all the way down. Open up the feet, hips width distance. We're gonna come into the same stretch, but now involving pelvic flexion. Wider than hips, I'm sorry, wider than the mat. Open up wider than the mat. Rotate the right toes out towards the right side of the room. Slide the right hand up into the inner hip and gently press that hip out. The left hand is on the earth and you can begin to walk that left hand towards the right side of your mat. Good. Gently push open that hip. Finding now a little rotation, keep the back of the neck long, stretching through here. Let the right hand slide down that right thigh, all the way to the earth. Slightly pivot those back toes, now on a 45. We're moving into Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Good. Slide the ribs down the thigh. Now for those of you who have a variation where you're able to bring the belly to the thigh, like Sydney here is showing, you're more than welcome to find the bind around the outer edge of the back leg. So take that left hand, wrap it around, take the right hand, interlock fingers, and then pull yourself onto the thigh a little bit deeper without buckling into that back knee. Good. Keep the back of the neck long. So chin towards chest. One more breath. Inhale, come into warrior one, facing towards the side wall. Bend into that knee, sweep the hands up towards the sky. So yes, I know we're facing in a different direction and not on the mat. I love getting a little funky, you all know that. Hands behind the back, interlock the fingers, chest up. Let's open up the hip again, forward fold inside of that right leg. Humble the pose, bowing inside of that pose. Let the head drop. Let the head go. One more breath. Inhale, pull yourself all the way back up. Sweep the hands up towards the sky. Stay right where you are. Drop that back knee down to the earth. Now moving into Supta Trikonasana. I was about to say stupid Trikonasana. Supta Trikonasana. Palms press at the top. Find the back bend. Go back, further back. If you need hands to support the low back, you're more than welcome to drop them. If you'd like to take a deeper variation, maybe you begin to drop the left hand towards the left heel, the right hand towards the right heel. Maybe you find the heel behind you without straightening through that front leg. You can tuck the toes to bring that heel closer to the body. That's fine. I'll allow it. Beautiful. One more breath. Pull the belly in tightly towards the spine. Sweep the hands back up towards the sky. Palms press. Tuck into the chin. Hollow the belly, round forward. Now, humbling pose. Working the third eye to knee. Find the flexion through the spine. Suzanne has been doing a fun little poll for her classes, asking what feels nicer, back bends or forward folds. So I want you to take a little moment just to embrace any sensation that might be coming up as you compress through the front body, maybe even the temptation to want to leave the pose. One more. Inhale, come all the way back up. Head comes up last, slowly, slowly. Tuck those back toes, come back into warrior one. Now pivot to face towards the front of your room. We're coming right into the next side. Rotate those left toes out. Oh, excuse me, find the forward fold, come all the way down. Yeah, so come down, forward fold, hands to the earth, good. Slide that left hand up the top of the left thigh. Push that hip out towards the right side of your mat. Walk the right hand towards the left side of the room. So left hand to left thigh. left hip. Yeah, there we go. I got so excited about the transition. Got a little more rotation. And now we're pivoting into Parsvottanasana. Rotate those back toes on a 45-degree angle. Send the heart forward and through. Keep the back of the neck long and find the fold. Pyramid pose. Again, if your belly is connected to your thigh, just as Sydney's is, you're more than welcome to wrap the arms around that back leg, finding the bind without buckling into that back knee. Andrew, I think this side has it. So not behind the back hamstring. The very back the right hamstring. You're there. Yeah, it's almost. I'll show you that after class. Darlene, let the head go. Not carrying it with you. Good, beautiful. One more breath. Gently release the bind. Oh, gee, you have it on that side. Bend into the knee, come into warrior one. Sweep the hands up towards the sky. And then swing the arms behind the back. Interlock the fingers, chest lifts. Finding that opening, heart open, exhale, fold, sink inside of that knee. Kick through the outer edge of that back foot. Working the top of the head down onto the mat. Shoulder blades drawing down the back body. One more breath. Inhale, come all the way back up. Sweep the hands up towards the sky. Drop the back knee down to the earth, moving into Supta Trikonasana. Again, 2 90-degree angles between both knee joints. You can drop the hands to the low back as we move into that back bend. Maybe the hands walk down towards the heel. Maybe the hands are on the earth. You're more than welcome to tuck those back toes to work into it. Beautiful, and make sure to push down into that foot and press the knee out. Good. Find that beautiful arcing the chest up. The throat opens. Make sure not to lessen the angle between the knee, the calf, and the hamstring on that front leg. Pull the belly in, engage the core, squeeze the glute, come all the way up. Palms press at the top. Hollow the belly and now round forward, tuck into the chin. Pulling the belly tightly into the spine. Rounding into the pose. Fingertips sliding between big and second toe. Finding length through the back of the neck. One more breath. Inhale, come all the way back up. Rise up, back into warrior one. And pivot again, back to the front of your room. Shorten the stance slightly. We'll get there. Move into Melasma. Sink the seat down. Hands slide through heart center, lift through the crown. Sink down a little bit more. Shoulders roll back. Drop the hands to the earth. Lift the hips up towards the sky. Toe heel or hop the feet to touch. Hop, step, or float. Moving into the next side. No, I guess we'll go faster on the next side. Hop, step, float. Take your vinyasa. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Slide through. Exhale. Hips up and back. Downward facing. Left heel reaches up towards the sky. Stack hip on top of hip, bend into the knee. Pull that kneecap up towards the heavens. Bring knee to nose, hollow out the belly. Roll forward, make connection. Send it back out, shoot it back out. Stack hip on top of it, bend into the knee. Keep that breath strong. Bring the left foot to the inside of the left hand. Find low lunge. Right hand on the earth, left hand to the sky. Now finding rotation. Again, not dumping into the heel of the hand. I want you to tent the fingertips. Reaching that left hand up towards the sky. Find a little more rotation. One more breath. Drop the left hand down to the earth. Seal that back knee down to the earth. Coming into full split, half split, or low back variation where you drop the hip towards the heel. Choosing your variation. Remembering to straighten the front leg first to move you into the pose. Full split, if you're comfortable here, remember you have to push down into that heel and plug that hip back into its socket on the front side. All the while spinning that back inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Shoulders back, chest broad, breath soft. In through the nose, out through the nose. Full split, work your way back up. Meeting half split. Big inhale, come back into Kapyasana. Pressing into that foot, sweep the hands forward and all the way up. Coming into high, low split, low. No, drop the knee, drop the knee. Kapyasana. Okay. Yeah. Palms pressed, gaze up, look up. Chest broad, deep breath in. Now moving into side plank variation. Right hand to the earth. Swivel the right foot towards the right side of the room. Extend the left leg out towards the back of the mat. Bend length here, lift up, push into the right shin. Remember, you want to open up through the front of that right thigh. Now bend into that left knee, drop the hand inside of the knee. As you open up the chest, roll the left shoulder up and push the knee out to the side. Make sure to push into the shin behind you to open up the inner hip as well as the front of that right thigh. If you have an inner grip on that ankle, you're more than welcome to take it, working the hand inside of the heel to kick the leg up. Open up the chest a little bit more. Point those toes. Point those toes. Push into the shin. Breathe. Gently release, lower that left leg down onto the earth. Again, pick up the left foot. Now bend into the knee, moving into the back bend variation. Catching an outside grip on the foot. So outside grip, not inside. Pinky side grip. Other grip, Jen. Yeah, that's it. Good. I want the heel in line with the glute so that you find this beautiful back bend. The left hip presses forward. The right thigh lengthens. The knee lengthens towards the back of the room. The chest broadens. The throat opens. Imagine one day bringing those toesies to the top of your head. Kate, you're almost there. One more breath. Coming into low lunge, pull that knee tightly into the chest. Drop it at the front of the mat. Tuck those back toes. Rise up. Charging lunge. Both hands reaching forward. Send that shin forward, belly long. Holding here. High lunge. Come all the way up. Warrior two. Drop the back foot parallel. Arms open up to T. Sink deeply into that front knee. Sink deeply. Big breath in. Shoulders away from the ears. Knit those ribs in so as not to collapse, but notice how the knee then juts out. Yeah, there we go. Good G. Thumbs up towards the ceiling. Big breath in. Exhale, left hand down the left leg. Peaceful. Ananda Virabhadrasana. Think deep breath. Think four. Pull the belly up and in. Come back to T. Now moving into Revolve Twist, hands at heart center. Rolling onto the ball of the back foot, dropping now the right elbow outside of the left knee. Moving into a twist. As you can see from the side video, the rotation. Now, if getting that elbow outside of the knee is a challenge, you can always bring the hand outside of the knee. Make sure to keep those hips square, not buckling or bending into the back knee. The back knee will keep you strong. One more breath. Move into twisted chair. Little baby hop, bring that right foot to meet the left. Sink the hips down, squeezing the inner thighs. Send the booty back a little bit further. Holding here. And if you have side crow, by all means, play with it. Have fun with it. Maybe taking it into fallen angel. Be mindful of your neighbor. If not, hold chair here. Not only are you strengthening the entire hip complex, but you're also rotating and literally wringing out the body with all that heat that's been built. Squeeze the inner edges of the feet, Sheila, and you've got it. Good. One more breath. Come back into chair. Sink the seat, sweep the fingertips, scoop the heart, pour the weight back. Find a forward fold, release over the legs. Let's move into a floating child's pose. So big toes are touching, drop the knees to the left and right sides of the mat and walk the hands out towards the sides of the mat. Giving the hips extra little bit of love. Tuck into the chin, hollow the belly. If you have the full bind, maybe working the arms around the outer edges of the knees and then working fingertips into inner hip crease. Maybe that's something you play with. In through the nose, out through the nose. Walk the hands back in. Open up the feet, lift the hips up. Melasma, last set. Sink the hips down. Hands inside the heart. Lift. Drop the hands, extend that right leg towards the back of your mat, moving into lizard pose. And from here, rock back and forth, back and forth. Bend one knee, bend another. Sway the hips from side to side. And then drop the back knee down to the earth. Let the elbows soften. So you want the body to soften into this pose. If the elbows are locked, the body will stop itself. Put a micro bend. And then maybe one day you'll be able to take a nap in this pose. Chest on the earth. Jen, can you slide that back leg out a little bit more? I know it'll be a little bit more challenging. There we go, good. As long as there's no pain for you. One more breath. Find the hands. We're going to move into a little fun transition. So if you're not quite sure, you can follow along. I'm going to show it first. Sydney, I'm going to have you do it so you guys don't kick each other. You're going to find the hands, tuck the back toes, and then you're going to slide the left leg behind the right leg behind the left to slide out towards the left side of the room. So tuck the toes. And then little baby hop, bring that right leg behind, come all the way onto the seat, come all the way onto the seat. So you'll be facing towards the side wall. Did everyone see that? Yes, excellent, good. G, you can come into it. Sweep the hands up towards the sky. And now find your twist. Right elbow outside of the left knee, left hand behind the back. Holding here. Find a little more rotation. And now if you wish to deepen the pose, I'll give you the option. You can slide that right hand along the outer edge of that left foot, extend the left leg, kick it out as you reach the left hand back behind you. Aiming for my wine collection. Now, if you have it, sit the way back. Lift that right leg off of the mat. Hovering it, not connecting it to your left. Yeah, so, yeah, there we go. Good. Kick through that heel a little bit more. Find a little more rotation. Andrew, do you feel how your low back is collapsing? I want you to lift up and out of the hip. Yeah, that's it right there. And then rework from there. Tara, beautiful. Point now those left toes out towards the sky. Yeah, that's it. Gently release back into your twisted pose, dropping that left foot outside of the right. Rotate a little bit more, find another deep breath. Then take it to the opposite side, finding the counter, dropping the hands over towards the right. Come back up through center, swivel the legs to face towards the back of your mat. Lower all the way down onto your back. Pull the knees into the chest. And then a little bit of momentum, last Melasma. Rock into Melasma. Feet open wider than mat. Use the elbows, use the hands for support if you need it. Good, good, excellent. Hands to the earth. Last side. Now step the left leg back, all the way back, lizard pose. Rock from side to side, back and forth, back and forth. Bend one knee, bend another, sway the hips from side to side. Facing the back of the mat. Drop the knee down to the earth. Now finding stillness here. In through the nose. Out through the nose. In through the nose. Out through the nose. letting the body soften. Slide that back leg further back behind you. Your goal one day is to bring the chest down into the earth. And then once the chest is down on the earth, maybe you'll bind that leg up and over the head. Doesn't have to be today. Start to find the hands. We're going to move into that transition for a seated twist. Tuck the back toes and then slide that left leg back and behind the right knee, coming onto your seat facing towards the side wall. That was the prettiest transition I've ever seen from everyone in the room. Sweep the hands up towards the sky. Dropping now that left elbow outside of the right knee. I'll probably join you because I need a twist. So finding that rotation. The back must be straight to twist. I like to use my hand to really position my ribs up and over the thigh. And then use the elbow. You can stay right here. Make sure both your seats are attached to the earth, both your cupcakes. And if you have it, slide the left hand to the outer edge of that right foot. Kick the leg up. Keep the left leg flexed in on the earth to start. Point the toes. Reach the right hand back behind you. Good. Next time I run to place, it'll be bigger. Find a little more rotation. Reaching the chest in opposite directions. And if you'd like, lift that bottom leg, point the toes. Hovering at 45 degrees off of the earth. Good, find that balance, avoid collapsing into the chest. Lift up and out of the hips. Come back into the twist, dropping the right foot outside of the left. And now take it to the opposite side, nice little counter. Come back through center. Spin towards the front of your mat. Unravel the legs, lower all the way down, pull the knees tightly into the chest. Almost May, and we want to get ready for, yeah, at least ready for B. Do some eagle crunches. Yay! So roll all the way up. I want to demonstrate really quickly. Who wants to demonstrate eagle crunches? So you're going to lower all the way down onto the back. Again, I want to show this because what I see often is that the chin drops back and then the neck starts to hurt. So you're going to lay back. Actually, G, can you face towards the other way? Yeah. Thank you. Thanks. So everyone can see Gianna. Poor girl's being tortured. Pull the knees in. So now wrap the right leg over the left. Bring the arms up above the head. And now wrap the right arm underneath the left. And the fingertips will drop. Yeah. The fingertips will drop above the head. And the toes will drop down to the earth. So, and she's going to plug her belly button down into the spine so that the spine is nice and long against the mat. So now what she's going to do is she's going to lift the upper body to the point, no, too far, to the point that the bottom of her scapular, the inferior angle of her scapular has lifted up. Her neck is going to be neutral. She'll keep her chin parallel to her chest so that it's in line with the triangle that the biceps create from the bind. And then she'll lift the knees. The very bottom tip of her sacral plate will lift up very gently. So it's not a crazy movement. We're not drawing up and lifting everything up. Instead, it's just the shoulder blades and the low sacral plate that's rising. And then you'll drop the feet down to the earth and come back down. Be mindful of the neck. Don't drop the neck back into massive extension. Keep the chin parallel. Good? Are you excited? 1,000 sets. Let's go. Lay back. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Reach the legs up. Reach the arms up. Right leg over left. Right arm underneath left. Let the toes drop down to the earth. Let the fingertips drop above the head. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring elbow to knee. 1. Release. 2. Release. 3. Release. 4. Release. 5. Release. So we're going slower. I want to activate that longer muscle fiber. 5. Release. 6. Release. 7. Release. 8. Release. 9. Release. 10. Release. Faster. Release. 12. Release. 13. Release. 14. Release. 15. Release. 16. Release. 17. Release. 18. Release. 19. Release. 20. Hold it here. Hold. Everyone in. Everyone in. For the people whose videos are shut off, I'm assuming that you're holding it. Hold. Hold. Pull in. Pull in. Pull in. Release. Lower down. Good. Unravel the legs. Pull the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Any fire that's there. I think what I miss about teaching in the hot room are the groans after doing core work.
That is so cute.
Let's come into the next side. Reach the legs up, reach the arms up. Wrap the left leg over the right. Wrap the left arm underneath the right. Strong core, strong spine, happy life. Lower the feet, lower the arms. Start nice neutral. Pull the belly in towards the spine. Take a deep breath in. 1, pull in. Release. 2. Release. 3. Release. 4. Release. 5. Release. 6. Release. 7. Release. 8. Release. 9. Release. 10. Release. Going faster. 11. Release. 12. Release. 13. Release. 14. Release. 15. Release. 16. Release. 17. I see you, G. Release. 19. 18. Just kidding. Release. 19. Release. 20. Hold it. Everyone in. Make connection. Hold it. Hold it. Pull it tighter. More. Squeeze. Squeeze. Release. Beautiful. Feet to the earth. Arms open wide. Drop the knees over to the left.
No, is it?
Finding a spinal twist. Keep the shoulders attached to the earth.
Lord, how did this happen? Please take it off. Here, right here. Oh, yeah, that's right. I don't know how I got it, but you can just get it. Yeah, that's fine.
Come back through center. Gianna's ring got stuck in her hair. Take it to the opposite side. Knees now drop over to the opposite. Finding that spinal twist. So we did some twisting today. We did some core work. Use the spinal twist to just let the spine soften, pop and crackle back into alignment. One more breath. Come back through center. Come all the way up to sit. We're going to close class and then I'm going to move you into Shavasana. At any point, you're more than welcome to leave. My head is cut off, so that's awkward. So find that comfortable seat. I'll play a little Shavasana music for you. If you want to turn off lights, now would be the time to do it. Remembering it is the master pose, so we work the body. We work quickly, we work fast. We use the breath work to bring us then into a place of stillness. This place of stillness is where we're able to ground. Think of the day as pulling us away from our center, and in Shavasana, we can pull all those pieces back together. And what a wonderful way to start the day. Bring hands to heart center. Thumbs unite with the midline. Coming back to your strong intention. I want you to lift your heart to it. Remembering all beautiful things are first manifested by thought. And if your thoughts are kind and beautiful, then your world will become kind and beautiful. Bow the head. I lift my heart and I bow it to you. Thank you for allowing me to guide you today. Thank you for inviting me into your homes. Thank you for being with me in this moment. I am beyond grateful, beyond words. The light in me honors and bows to the light within you. Namaste. Lay back. Take up as much space, as much room as you require to find stillness in this pose. And let the body just soften onto the earth. Move the arms away from the body. Move the legs away from one another. Finding all of this stillness. To reorganize. To come back to center.